yes, we're doing things in stages. Yes, we will be doing the wind power. Right now, we're working on the solar power, which we're now deploying. Basically, it's a three-prong inverter, a few batteries, 2 panels, photovoltaics, 120 volts, and later on an additional 2 panels. It's not a whole lot of power we're talking about generating here, and it's really about how much you store. So you need the batteries, the controller, and the inverter stuff like that in place to allow you to have proper use of whatever wattage you're looking to make use of. Initially, we'll use that type of system for small hydroponics operations as we go through the test phase of certain things. And later on, when we have things in place, we'll convert it into a hybrid system, which is what I actually prefer. Because sunlight is not always optimal, and wind speed is not always optimal. But in between solar and wind, in a hybrid system like that, you're basically hedging your bets, as they say, and it puts you in a much better position. I don't particularly agree with solar power by itself because I do know that there are things with that, but I'm grateful that solar power will be around for a while, and it's pretty strong stuff. So, um, yes, I can see where solar power now, as an initial phase, is workable. And so we're working it into the other cities after we get it fully completed here in the capital city. And then we will be able to later on go back with the wind power. So those two things are helpful for generating of electricity without combustible engine operations. But we are going to be going to combustible engine operations in the form of diesel powered generators. It's far more efficient and far more workable. So eventually we shall be getting into that. I'd like to be able to have several generators, no less than 60 kilowatts per generator. Small units, but we don't have massive size in the city areas that we're in. We are growing, and we have grown a lot, and our numbers are considerable. Nonetheless, multiple units at 60,000 watts can do the job for the things that we have to do at the level that we're at right now. And as we increase, obviously we will up the wattage that we will be able to make available. Ultimately, I'd love to have a few generators that make a 500,000 kilowatts. That'd be great. Or 1.25 megawatts. That would be great, but we're nowhere near requiring that much power at this juncture. That said, we have, say, 60 kilowatts on station, and you can deploy a considerable amount of hydroponics tables and a few other things that you can do with that. And when you begin to grow food large scale, sufficient for you to feed yourself and still have some to store for emergency reserve, and on top of that still have some to trade, well, that's a beautiful thing. And we'd like to be able to bring things to market in a manner that is viable. I'd like to be able to expand what's inside of the food distribution network, large scale. And that way, you'll be able to expand out your food co-op operations. And before you know it, you got so many folks in so many different city areas that's in a better position because you provide that particular viable option. And I look forward to us being able to do that sooner rather than later.